Then again, this thing does have quite a high top speed, and I was wrong again. This car is actually doing better than I thought it was going to. They are still unbeatable. I will make sure to check at the very end, but this does not seem right. Yeah, this car is actually really quite good for off-road racing. Really quite good. Usually I don't like off-road racing, but this is enjoyable because it's actually easy to handle the car while it's on dirt. The new McLaren Artura is in Forza Horizon 5 finally. This is the latest and greatest McLaren in the game, at least. I don't know exactly what McLaren has put out, but this thing is sweet. It sounds pretty nice. It looks really, really good, of course. McLaren always makes really good looking cars. And we're gonna check out how it is stock and do some upgrades and see what it can do. First things first, we're gonna take this thing around a Rivals S1 track. As you can see, it is S1 860. We're gonna see how it compares to a fully upgraded car and see what time it can put down. So we're gonna cut to the flying lap and see how she does. Here we come up to the flying lap. This thing I can guarantee is not going to do a sub 1 minute like our top end S1 cars can, but it's not bad. It's really not too terrible. It handles okay. Ooh, it's very tail happy, as you can see through those marks back there. It does not like to brake very much. When you brake real hard, real hard, and you go into a corner, it does like to lift the rear end up, which means it lifts or it puts a lot of weight on the front wheels, which is not the greatest. I mean, it's okay. Ideally, you want a lot of the weight to stay on the rear tires while you're turning through a corner, so you don't end up just losing the car. It's a fine balance, of course, but this one is not the greatest at it. Oh, wall tap, of course. Very, very light on the rear tires coming through a corner. It likes to slide, and then you have to counter steer. So I'm going to do a couple more laps, see what time I can squeeze out of it, and then we're going to jump into some other tests. 1039, that's not half bad. We're not going to get much faster than that, so we're going to call it there. Either way, it's about 5 seconds slower than a top-end S1 car like the one in front of us. And now for a top speed test. I'm betting it's sub 200. I have not looked at the stats at all. I was clearly wrong about the sub 200. We haven't even gone into 8th, 7th, or 8th yet. 223, 224, 225, come on. I think we can get it up to 226, but I screwed up and had to rewind back there. So 224 is what we're calling it, which is pretty damn quick, not gonna lie. All right, now for a drag race. We went for the 6th mile, the one that's at the Horizon Festival. I'm hoping that this thing is fast enough. These guys are on highly skilled. I am betting we're not gonna do too well in this one. Then again, this thing does have quite a high top speed, and I was wrong again. This car is actually doing better than I thought it was going to. McLaren in 2nd and 1st. Not bad. Of course, the Corvettes are all side by side. What a surprise. What a surprise. Let's take this up a notch, shall we? We'll see how it does against unbeatable drivatars now. I'm betting last because unbeatable is kind of, as it says, unbeatable. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a little different. Oh, we might catch that Porsche. Come on, Porsche. Nope. Dead last. Yeah, unbeatable is bananas. Now, is there anything cool for upgrades? We have an Audi V10, I believe, and a V8 twin-turbo 4-liter. I think that's... I don't actually know what company that's from, but nothing special. What a surprise. Only Forza Aero and the ugly... Oh, actually, check that out. And it's adjustable. Sweet. Okay, well, that is much better than I was hoping. I was expecting only Forza Aero. You would be stupid to do anything other than this wing if you're going to put one on. I say first things first, we're going to turn this thing into a drift car. Dang, with just cams and turbo, this thing ends up at 1,087. We also went for the V8 twin turbo, just because I didn't want to go with the stock motor. This is one of the rare S2 drift cars, actually. Alright, we've done the upgrades and the drift tune on this thing. If you want an easy way to set up a drift tune, go look up my Ultimate Easy Drift Guide. It is pretty useful. Alright, we are approaching the Dunas Blancas drift zone, which is my favorite drift zone in this entire game. It's very long and flowy. I enjoy it. Let's see how this thing does. That being said, it is a mid-engine or a rear-engine car. That is not the greatest way to drift. Drifting works well if you have a front engine and rear drivetrain, rear wheel drive. I don't know what I lost there. Having the engine in the center or the rear makes the weight distribution better for racing, but worse for drifting. Ideally, in drifting, you want the weight on the front so the rear tires can spin more easily, and the momentum doesn't kick so hard when you try and transition and stuff like that. 175 is not too terrible. We're about 60,000 short of my personal best. Yep. We're going to give that one more try. All right, we're going to attempt this. I'm going to try and focus on this because last time I was talking, which is also why I have a hard time speaking while I'm doing stuff like this, as you can tell. Gotta slow her down coming in. There's too much weight in the center of the car. Can't get the grip on the nose to steer very well. It is a little bit more easy to make a rear engine, mid-engine car power slide, so you have to have all-wheel drive. But this is currently just rear. We're also on snow tires. Again, check out my easy drift guide. 204. Much better, still not the greatest. That thing sounds wild. I don't even know what it is. Okay, so she's not the queen of drifting. Let's take it off-road, and then we're going to do racing at the very end. This thing is almost max upgraded. This is the only engine upgrade I have left in order to make it S1 for off-road racing. This is the stock motor, so it's not near as powerful as we had it set up for drifting, but it should be pretty good. We're going to go to the San Juan Scramble and race some unbeatable AI drivatars just to see how this thing handles. Go in, change these guys back up to unbeatable. There we go. Here goes nothing. I'm expecting for this to not go well as usual with the unbeatable drivatars, just to be honest with you. Man, these gears are short. I thought I tuned them, but I might not have. Either way, short gears are pretty good for off-road racing. We need the acceleration as much as we can get on the dirt. Come on, baby. We're just going to pass all these guys on the inside if we can. Catch some air. Oh, whoops. I'm trying not to cheat off the drivatars, but sometimes it can't be helped, especially in off-road races. Cut up the inside. Yes, sir. The rear end is sliding a little bit, so that seems to be universal. We don't have too much downforce. I think I actually just left the downforce alone, but a little bit more is useful for off-road racing, especially if we're going this quick. Keeping that extra grip going through the corners and stuff on off-road, this does not seem right. They are still unbeatable. I will make sure to check at the very end, but this does not seem right. Oh, turn. It definitely is unbeatable because they are staying with me, which is unusual for these guys. It's unusual for them if they're not unbeatable, technically. Usually when it's highly skilled, they won't stick with me at all. Yeah, go ahead and pass me. You should be able to. Take that corner as well as we can. This thing is actually really not bad for off-road racing. It seems like a lot of the cars that have been coming out lately have been really quite good for off-road racing. They probably decided to make cars better for off-road racing so it was more fun, because I would bet that off-road racing, dirt racing, and cross-country, whatever you want to call it, are all like the least done demographics of racing, whatever you want to... Demographics? Categories of racing. Yeah, this car is actually really quite good for off-road racing. Really quite good. Usually I don't like off-road racing, but this is enjoyable because it's actually easy to handle the car while it's on dirt. Usually it's not that easy and sliding and blah blah blah. Usually off-road is my least favorite, just to be honest. Well, this was the easiest unbeatable drivatar race of my life, unless something went wrong. Let me just go in and check. Yeah, they're unbeatable. That's crazy. Well, I hope this thing's as good in S1 racing, like on the road, as it is in off-road, because that is ridiculous. Well, we got a little grip, we lost a little horsepower, and we lost a little weight, which is kind of surprising. Alright, I'm going to scroll through this real quick so you can see the tune. Feel free to pause it and copy it if you want. I've done plenty of how to tune videos. They're basically all of the cars that I tune now are very similar to this tune. Now let's take her back to that S1 Rivals over here and see how she does. This thing does feel a lot more tight in the handling department already, which is good. Alright, we've got a dirty 103.9 to beat. Let's see if we can do it in the first lap. I'm kind of doubting it, but I'm hopeful. Alright, 102. Nice. We did beat it in the first lap. This thing is on stock tires, by the way, so I can't really do a power build with it. It's got as much power as we can squeeze into it, and it is very light. We are kind of keeping up with this Corvette. I do take a different line than most people do on here, which is probably why my times aren't as quite tippy-top as most people's, but I think it's worth it. I think I enjoy my line more than theirs, so that's why I do it. Pretty simple. Brakes, we're coming in a little hot there. Not bad. Back on the throttle. This thing doesn't really have enough, not near enough really, power to spin the rear tires anymore going through a corner, which is good. That's good. We've got a big old rear wing that's got a lot of downforce on it, so it should keep the rear tires planted pretty well. Final corner. Nice. Pretty good corner that. I'm going to do a couple more laps. We are about a second and a half behind. Oh, we're in front of him. I took that corner better than he did. Could have shifted that better, though. That was my bad. Good. This is my line. I like it better. Accelerate. Not got enough power on the way out. Can't really change that. We probably could shrink the tires down a little bit, but I don't think it would help. We would not be able to turn as well as we're doing now. Come on, car. Come on. We might be able to get a 58.9. 58.999 is the goal or less. Brakes and turn. Good. Not enough power to get out of these corners quick enough. Man, I'm having a hard time speaking. Oh, we took that corner poorly. Okay. This is going to be a dirty lap either way, so we're going to try and take this corner better. Oh, 59.4. We're getting there. I'm going to give it my best. Oh, come on. This is close. 58.8. I'll take it. That was a good lap. I'm probably going to leave that whole lap in, actually, even though I said nothing. I think that was a very good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like the McLaren Artura, because I think this thing is sick, actually. On stock, it kind of sucks, but once you get some upgrades and this cool wing and everything on it, it's not bad. It can drift, but not great, and it's pretty good off-road. So this thing is pretty good all around. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.